Hi, Charles. Good night or good evening where you are.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you
I'm
too.
trying to get this thing positioned. I'm not at home in Kingston, so we are improvising.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
All right.
I was caught up in work and
Mhm.
I meant to comb my hair and get all fancy, but
No, you look fine, and I love any of your gym videos.
thank you.
Very inspiring.
I had to take a day off today because my body was out. My body is completely out of whack and my
Mhm.
pains. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Geez, like when you go back and you start feeling all the muscular. Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
awful.
Let me see. But the volume's fine, and I hope my lighting's okay. I'm
Your lighting is
improvising.
perfect. Perfect, perfect.
Thank God, because trust me.
You can push this light down for me, please.
Right, so we're all set. Yay.
All right.
Thank
So
God.
I have, let me give you a bit of context before we go. So, I started the 30-day plant-based challenge. It started August 1, and we're going straight until the 30th. On the 31st, I'm gonna do a review with everybody.
Yay.
I've been plant-based for 4.5 years. I am loving the journey. It
Don't it?
it was so easy for me because my dad has been plant-based for 16 years.
Oh,
And
amazing. 16 years.
and his mom has been plant-based before the word vegan existed. So so it was pretty easy for me. But when I decided to transition, I
Mm.
when I decided to transition, I said I wanted to help as many people as possible to also
Mhm.
transition. So
Yeah.
this challenge is about 2-3 years overdue, right? And somebody sent me a DM on Instagram and said, when you created this account, you said you would do challenges, and I haven't seen a challenge. And I said, let's do it. So
Let's go.
yeah, so that's how we're here now. So we have
Mhm.
2 persons from the challenge so far on the
Mhm.
live. I have a couple persons who are in LA, a couple persons who are also in the UK. So those in the UK, I'm recording it now, so they'll be able to see it
Yeah.
on YouTube. I'm gonna
Mhm.
post on YouTube for them, but hoping a
Yeah.
few more can join in the next maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can begin.
Yeah, man, that works. That's what I figured. The recording is easier because then you have it, post it, and there we go from there.
Yeah.
You can give me the link and I'll be able to share it and that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yes.
So, but this is exciting. I mean, I'm not sure how much you know about me, but it's 7 years, going on 8 years. Fully vegan. I've loved this lifestyle. It's been amazing.
Right.
Yeah, I decided to, well, nature mind therapy, that was founded out of me trying to just heal, like just get well and off of medication. And yeah, the next logical step was vegan. My mom is a vegetarian, so I grew up with that as a base. But there's a definite difference I felt in being like vegan. I tried raw vegan for a minute, a hot minute, trying to heal certain things, and then incorporated food. And yeah, I love it. I love it. It shifted my perspective on so many things in life. So here we
Here we
are,
are. Nice.
literally.
Okay, so I'm gonna Sherry. So okay, no, I can actually mute you. Okay, perfect. All right, so thanks for sharing that, Dan. Um, I think we can officially begin. So good night,
All right.
everyone. We have We have 7 persons on. I think we can begin. For those who won't be able to catch it, they'll catch a recap on YouTube. So tonight we're joined by Danielle Thompson. She's from Nature My Therapy, organic
Hi, guys.
company, distributes island-wide. I know soon she'll be distributing to the US and Canada and the
We're
UK.
working on it.
I know that will be coming soon.
Exciting.
She's gonna talk to us
That's right.
about the juices that pair well together, the fruits and veg that pairs well together, how they can heal your body, how you can make it at home, where you can get her juices to purchase, and maybe she'll throw in a special discount code for you guys for this month.
That's right.
All right, Dan, so you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, thanks for that intro, Dan. Like, that was great. That pretty much sums up at therapy what we do. We work with organic farmers and we supply healthy juices and food products pretty much island-wide. And as you said, we're going overseas soon. Very excited about that. A little bit about me. I'm a certified nutritionist and a juice specialist because I'm absolutely obsessed with the healing quality of nature and how we can unlock it through the products that we're able to create for ourselves and our families. So my mode has been juicing. So that is, there are many different ways to juice, to create food in a liquid form from fruits and vegetables. And as you highlighted, different combinations of these fruits, vegetables, herbs, roots really helps to aid the body. What I found in my 7 years of being plant-based is each vegetable, fruit, plant product corresponds to different organs in the body, corresponds to different needs that we have at different stages. As women, we go through different stages. We bleed along with the moon. We have our own personal tide with men, the different.
I'm not hearing.
Okay. All right. Daniel, I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, I'm not sure. I think the internet kind of went a bit haywire.
Okay.
Am I back?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, so it corresponds in both men and women, depending on the stage in life that we are and where we are in our cycle. So it's about really starting to understand the fruits, the vegetables, the herbs, and then combining them depending on even the month. So like say right now in summer, we're having a lot of people where they're looking at fruits that are not in season and are not local to their particular area as something to eat because we see it online, and that's exciting and it should inspire our travel, it should inspire and excite us, but we need to eat and juice locally. So here at therapy, what we do and what I recommend to clients is if you're doing it at home, look at fruits that you can get from your farmer's market, the fruits that are growing outside in your backyard, in your neighbor's yard. And you want to start looking at how you can start combining them. Another thing that we, really ignore is the base of the juice, because any kind of juice that you prepare, it has a base. So whether it's water, coconut water, cerasee, aloe vera blended out with water, you want to look at what the base is, and then you start layering on top of that. So if you haven't juices and you want to be saying to yourself, all right, what's the purpose of this juice? I want to renew my body. I want to feel better first thing in the morning. You look at fruits and vegetables that you want to hit your system first thing. So you might say, all right, I'm going to start my day with, in my case, I love lime and water. Super simple. Turmeric and lime. Very simple. I'm going to extract these things and have it on a time schedule. So I know this is how I start my day. You look at the amount that you're going to be having and when you consume it. In terms of what pairs well in the summer, you have like your basil, you have your lime, and then you have something like watermelon. Seasonal, affordable, accessible here in Jamaica. You may find that you have berries coming in season, the Pacific Northwest now. So you're going to be blending your berries, blending it up with, what would be in season now. So you have your berries and your melon, and you blend those together, and that's something that you're having. Many things that are pretty much available throughout the year in the Caribbean would be like bananas. So the ripe bananas, you start looking at, okay, at what stage should I have the banana? And make a note. Education is key. You want them very ripe and speckled. And that's how you're consuming. So you're saying, all right, what do I juice and what do I blend? And you start putting the fruits and the vegetables and the herbs into categories. So you know what can go through a juicer, what is supposed to be put into a blender, and then how you combine them. And then also make a note of the taste and how you enjoy that. How did your body feel And then from there, you start having like a juice journal or a smoothie journal that you can kind of enjoy. So those would be some first steps. Look at the base, look at what's in season based on your territory. Look at the purpose for which you want the juice, the time of day, and then start looking at stacking combinations. So any questions on that so I can know which direction to go into next?
Question, are there certain juices that should be or better consumed? Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Nix. I realize I have a photo. Yeah. So are there certain fruits or vegetables that are better consumed in like a lukewarm or hot state? Like, you know, like turmeric tea versus like a watermelon smoothie that's cold. Are there any benefits to having it hot versus cold?
That's a really good question. All right, so if you're talking about how to consume the fruit in its raw form, typically you'll find that you want to consume it how it actually appears in nature. Unless it is that you're trying to preserve it or it is that you're trying to have it so that you enjoy it. So you would say like watermelon, definitely cold. There are ways that people do, they prepare watermelon, they cook it, but that's a separate thing. If you're having it as a juice, you want to keep it as cold as possible because you want enzymes to be active and kicking. You want them to be going into your body because that's really the purpose of food. Food's information. So that's what you want to keep cold so it lasts longer. Turmeric is a very interesting ingredient and healing root. So you want to have that cold or warm. It depends on what you find it easiest to ingest and how you're pairing it. So turmeric needs to be activated with black pepper. The pepperine is what you're going to actually be adding to the turmeric. Also, in order for your body to absorb an ingredient like turmeric, which is different from watermelon, which is quick, within 10 minutes it's in, it's fueling your body and then it's out. You have turmeric now that needs a black pepper. It needs your body to be having a certain level of vitamin C. So that's where you can say, okay, another cold fruit might be, you know, like your oranges, your lime, your green peppers, all these things that are high in vitamin C. And then you want it to be cold at that point because of the other ingredients you'd be consuming it with. If it is that you want to do like turmeric golden milk, you want to have that one warm. So that application now is because what you're doing is activating it with coconut oil, coconut milk, or another nut milk. And that's gonna, with the black pepper, allow your body to absorb it easier. And it's something that you will enjoy warm. But you want to look at temperature in terms of maintaining the integrity of the fruit, the vegetable, the root, and the length of time. So if you're creating smoothies, for instance, using these same ingredients, and it's something you're consuming immediately, it doesn't matter. You throw it into the blender, you blend it up, you consume it immediately. If you let it stay, that's when you start to have oxygenation, it starts breaking down with natural heat. And now you have a problem. Now you're consuming food that integrity, it has been compromised. Versus if you're going to be storing it because you're going to have this smoothie 3 servings, or you're going to be having it over the course of 2 to 3 days, then at that point you definitely want to freeze, to reblend, or it is that you want to pop it in the refrigerator immediately in a proper container that can support liquid, not leach, and then you consume it within that time period of say 48 hours, 24 to 36 hours. But yes, but there are ingredients like, for instance, when you look at you know, leafy greens or so, even something like mint. In Jamaica, we have a lot of mint. Mint is great for body. Basil, great for body. You can have it hot, you can have it cold, but it will depend on your preference at that point. If you want a hot application because it is that you're clearing your sinuses, you want the soothing benefit of the warm tea, then you want to go hot. If it is like an iced tea effect, you want to have it colder, then that's going to give you less of the effect of the warmth opening up and moisturizing your sinuses. And for that reason, you may opt to do it in either way. But straight off the fruit, off the tree, blended is good.
All right, perfect. That was very, very insightful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Nix.
Does anyone else have questions? No juicing questions?
Oh yeah, I do have another one. Sorry, I had like 4. All right, so this one is, are there certain fruits or vegetables that are better consumed in the morning than in the evening? Or is it really just dependent on your body? Like bananas. Like, is it true that if you eat it before you go to bed, you're just going to be awake? Or is that lie?
Okay, so again, that's a very good question, and it does depend. So everybody's body is unique in certain respects in terms of many people have different sensitivities and they have different schedules. So for instance, you would try to say consume in an ideal situation fruits that are going to be easily processed before bed. So for instance, which is kind of the difference, the reason why we differentiate between when it is that we're having juices versus smoothies. If I'm going to be having something before bed, I'm going to be assessing my digestion. I'm going to be assessing the physical activity that I was, involved in before bed. Like if you're coming from the gym, if it is that you had a late night, and then you want to look at what nutrients you've already consumed for the day, because everyone knows you need to have your macros and your micros set, meaning your macronutrients, your proteins, your fats, your carbohydrates versus your micronutrients, which are what you're going to be finding in all these fruits and vegetables and so on. So you're looking at like your vitamin C's and all these other ones that are building the body. So after you've seen that you've checked your box for your macros, you're like, all right, I have X amount of calories left and I'm about to sleep. I have not had a very active day. I can consume. I'm not hungry. I want something nice. At that point, you're going to try to have, fruits that are going to be quick in the system. So like any one of the watermelons, meaning cantaloupe or honeydew, the watermelon, you're having that within 10 minutes, it's going to be processed, it's use the bathroom, it's out, and you go and you sleep, and your body is able to go through the digestion process, because each organ has an order of elimination, an order of detoxification, where it's working while you're sleeping during the night. So you want to give your body as the least amount of work so that you can actually rest. If it is that you've had a rough day, you're just coming from the gym, you're going to be up probably churning out some work, and you're going to need a protein smoothie. Maybe the base of that is going to be something that may include bananas. At that point, it is an appropriate application based on the amount of time that you're going to have, even though it's still nighttime. If you haven't had your calories for the day and you're hungry and you're going to be able to process, then you have your banana at that point. But ideally, you want to be looking at giving your body enough time to break down food. Equally important is when you rise up in the morning, when you awake and you're thinking, okay, fine, what's the first thing I want my body to do? Because it's still processing. It's not yet 10 o'clock. My stomach is not yet awake. At that point, maybe I want to have something a little bit more alkalizing, something easy to digest, hence the lime water as the first thing, the turmeric and the lemon and ginger as the first thing that hits your body with warmth. And that's something that's very appropriate upon waking up. And then when your body has had a chance to finish up with its digestion, you're fully awake, the sun is fully up. At that point now, you have your smoothie with papaya, naseberry, depending on what it is that you want to have. And those sweet fruits hit exactly how it needs to. And then you have energy throughout the day. And your body has the time with the fiber, in that case, to process the food and complete its digestion. And you're not spiking anything like your blood sugar levels that you don't need to right before bed. So I hope that answers your question. And if you'd like to know of any particular pairings, I'm happy to share.
No, that was very thorough. My last question, which may kind of tie back into that a little bit, is just really the balance of sweet fruits. Like, what's the ideal balance when you're making like a smoothie? Because kale don't really tastes nice. Let's just be honest. I like it in a salad. I don't really like how it tastes in my smoothies.
Right.
And you try to use sweet fruits to kind of balance the flavor. Is there like a real portion, like a rule of thumb in mind when you're doing juices in terms of sweet versus like nutritious? Well, they're all nutritious. I hope you understand what I'm asking. I just have balance.
Right. So you want to create a balanced smoothie versus a balanced juice, because the formula may look a little bit different for either one. So if I were creating a juice, and my friends and family will accuse me of, loving greens more than anything else, I find it beneficial to look at the purpose of the juice. Here's why. It's not that there is no limit or recommended amount of fruits that you should consume for the day, because we do take into account that we have many different foods that we consume with ingredients that contain things that break right down into sugar that we may not count, meaning like the sauces, like the condiments and so on. We don't count it, but it counts to our bodies. So with that said, when you're creating a smoothie, for argument's sake, meaning you're going to be blending it versus putting it through a juicer, you want to consider the purpose. So if it is that you're making a juice and you're saying, I haven't had my 5 servings of vegetables for the day, and I'm trying to hide or conceal the very green taste of these ingredients, kale, celery, parsley, arugula, you name it, you want 30 ingredients per week minimum, then at that point you have to assess where you are on the scale. Is it that you are working your way down? By having that goal in mind, you're saying, all right, I'm going to have 2 cups or 2 handfuls of vegetables in my blended drink. I need to have, say, a cup and a half to a cup of liquid, and that's going to be something neutral. It could be cucumber juice, so that's another way of getting in the greens, or it's going to be water, any other liquid base. You factor in what that is as well. And then based on that, you could say, I'm going to have half a cup of a sweet fruit. And you work your way down. If the goal is a particular serving size of vegetables that you want, or leafy greens you want to have per day or per meal or per drink, then you start to play with the portions and you don't be too hard on yourself. You start working your way down, up with the veg. So each time you add like an extra, I wouldn't say fistful for starters, but you're gonna say like an extra half cup of shredded kale. Maybe what you do is you remove the interior stem, because I mean, as nutritious as it is, maybe that's not where you need to start right in this moment. And then you award yourself by saying, all right, this week my 5 smoothies had in 2 handfuls, or you start with 1 handful, half a cup of sweet fruit, pine, mango, banana, and you cutting it down on the amount of fruits because you find those easier to have otherwise, and you're hitting your macros and your micros, and then you slowly work your way up. Is there a perfect order? I would say not entirely, but it would be portion control. So I would do 2 fistfuls, and then 1 of fruit, and then add the liquid to that. And normally you try to then, when doing a smoothie, sneak in things that you probably wouldn't often enjoy on its own. So ingredients like maybe hemp seeds, hemp hearts, you throw it in for extra fiber, protein, heart health. You can also throw in things like ashwagandha. You may not enjoy having that by itself, but in a smoothie, it's a win. And your cinnamon and different ingredients, because the purpose, which is what we keep getting back to, anything that we're eating, whether it be for just enjoyment, at which point all bets are off, but if it is about nutrition and mindfulness, it is about actually looking at the portion of the fruits, portion of the veg, and looking at what is ideal for your body. If somebody is going to be diabetic, if someone is on a period cycle, if there's someone who is competing in something that's very physical, it looks very different for them. So it really is person specific. And the truth is, food is a mechanism, and I've personally found juicing and blending to be a mechanism to reconnect with my body in a way that I was just not connected to it before. It starts to become an ongoing conversation with yourself. You get to understand where you are as a woman, on my cycle, what my needs are, what my energy levels are, and how I'm able to support myself with just a blender and a juicer alone, outside of anything else I'm eating. And then I get to know me, and I can make recommendations for myself based on where I am. I can kind of feel it, judge it, and work towards it. And the goal setting with the portion sizes, it helps. And when you're doing it with local ingredients, you start to get reconnected to the farmer, to the earth, so you know what's outside because you know what you're putting in your blender, and you start to also plant things outside. Like I remember when I planted my first set of moringa trees, I'm sidetracking to make a point, I promise. I started to plant my first set of moringa trees because I realized that was a green that I needed to include in my smoothies. So it became an ingredient that I had to have readily available outside when I was first starting. And then I was able to up the ante each time I made a smoothie, because now I had a new ingredient that I was kind of working into my body. So but if there's any other clarification you need, let me know.
I think that was great. I think that response was really great. I have a question. So I've been told that you can't pair alkaline and acidic fruits.
Okay, the subacidic sweets and acidic fruits. So the thing with this is it's a touchy subject because everyone has another opinion on how this works. My take on it is there is an ideal. And the ideal is that you're going to pair fruits and vegetables that are going to be, or pair vegetables and pair fruits that are going to be on a similar cycle in terms of how it's digested by the body and ingredients that are not going to counteract. So it's something that we look at, but you can be guided by also what your body needs. So if you're going to be blending like banana and lime, you're going to understand that real quick and fast, that is a combination that might not be the most palatable, and it might be causing some problems for persons who can't digest those two ingredients. So you may want to start simple, really simple with the food that you're having. So, 1 second, I'm having some feedback. Yes, I think we're good now. Can you hear me okay? Okay, fantastic. Right. So you do have pairings that work better. So you have sweet to subacidic, acidic to acidic, and then some persons will pair subacidic, like even like guava is considered subacidic with acidic fruits, and it will work better in the case of digestion and timing. When it comes on to watermelon, which is what I'm stressing, there are many persons who are not able to digest this well with any other ingredient because of how quickly it goes through your system. So you tend to have that first and keep it separate if possible. But we do mix fruits, and it works pretty well, and it's enjoyable. So that's my own personal ethos. And I do find if you restrict the blending of fruits and vegetables together, you can lose the benefit of being able to consume fruits and veg. You probably would never be able to just straight off the bat. And there are benefits. But yes, there are people who believe in keeping everything separate. I'm not really one of them.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I'm also not one of them, and I just wanted to know that I was not doing the wrong thing.
It's an interesting topic to explore, but within reason, I think it's fair that we explore and create combinations that work.
Right. Okay, great. Does anyone have any other questions? Donnery and Cheryl just joined. I don't know if you guys have questions for Danielle. She has been speaking to us about juicing. You'd have heard some of it. She's a nutritionist, but she's also vegan, and she has healed her body through juicing. So, if you have questions, please shoot them at her.
Yeah, and I have some questions too. I am really curious in terms of how the journey has been so far. And I mean, Dan, you can start for you in terms of incorporating like juices in your diet, like in terms of meal swaps or
when I first went vegan, I did it years ago. I tried it for like a month, and I dropped down flat. One single time I dropped down flat because I was having salads. Most of the persons here are in Jamaica, and that was years ago. That was like 2011 when I just left high school. I attempted it, you know.
Yes.
Dropped down flat. I was having salsa salads. I had to go to the doctor. I got a B12 injection. Up on drip, and I said, yeah, I'm not doing this ever again. And then I was pescatarian, right? So I was pescatarian from 2011 when I left high school until 2018 at the end. January 2019, I went plant-based. No, when I went plant-based again, I said, okay, I'm gonna do it right this time. And I did, you know, I didn't drop down. I've been standing very strongly ever since. And juicing, I started juicing when around the time of my monthly cycle, I realized that my body was lacking certain nutrients. And I started to get beetroot, and I hate beetroot. It tastes like dirt, right? It really tastes like dirt. And no matter how you wash it, even when you peel it, it tastes like dirt. But that's how I started juicing. So I started doing beetroot and leafy greens. And then what I did was sweeten it with cane juice, because I said, there's no way I'm drinking this, right? But I knew my body needed it. So I sweetened it with cane juice, and on sweetening it, I started to like it. And then I started doing it once a month without cane juice, with water, sometimes coconut water. And that's just how juicing started for me. And then now, I mean, I love watermelon. So if I buy a whole watermelon, half of it I'm eating, half of it I'm juicing.
You're juicing.
And I find that when you juice the skin, it's also really good for your body. And, you know, I'm just learning and exploring. So I'm 4 years in, but I still consider myself a baby to this thing. And
for sure.
I'm just learning. And I hope whatever I have learned, I'm able to teach to everyone else on the call, and they're able to also learn and share their experiences with me.
Yeah, and I love that. I absolutely love that. And it's so good that you started and you didn't give up. Like, you knew something was wrong. You knew there was a way to do this, and you circled back and you're like, yeah, no, we're doing this. We're going to do it right.
I got it.
And you started, And to start with beetroot is very ambitious. I saw someone saying they love the taste of it. Chilled. I also love beetroot. I also really love it with the rosemary and fennel. But yeah, to juice beetroot right before your cycle is so important. And you also mentioned something that I thought was fantastic, because many people don't explore fruits and vegetables from the point of view that many indigenous communities have been preparing these ingredients using everything like a no waste society. Once it's not toxic. So where we're not going to be having soursop seeds because we're not looking for cyanide poisoning, we have watermelon seeds, we have watermelon rind. Like, we're including everything and getting the benefit, because colors are information. So when you see the green, when you see the white, when you see the pink, all of that, or the yellow in the case of yellow melons, which are so good, all of that is going to be leading us like to a discovery of saying, okay, if this is red, I expect, or orange, I expect beta carotene. If this is green, and I'm getting in my chlorophyll, and you start to kind of understand that all the fruits, like the shape, relating to back to parts of our bodies that it assists, is going to also relate to the vitamins and the minerals that are present. And then you start saying to yourself, I need these ingredients because this is the information to fight inflammation in my body. This is going to be shoring up my system, because another thing we do at Nature My Therapy is that we do a lot of juice cleanses, to helping people to detox. And it isn't that we're detoxing your body through just the ingredients and it's this mystery process. What it is aiding your body, shoring it up and supplying it with nutrients that it needs to pretty much have its own detox cycle happen, because that's what our bodies are doing. That's how we remain alive and relevant. That's how we grow. Even our bones are growing, shedding, releasing, and then coming forward. So it's about having the different ingredients and then seeing how it affects your body. And yes, juicing around your cycle, because it's already in elimination mode, is powerful. Absolutely powerful.
Yes. So we have 6 minutes remaining on this live. If anyone else has any questions before Danielle does her big closing, please go ahead.
I have another question.
Bring it, girl. Bring it.
And I think Donna Ray has a question too.
Oh yeah, let her go, because I asked like 100. So
no, man. I think we can just get out both questions and then Danielle. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So juicing, smoothies, that kind of stuff hasn't really been foreign to me, because I just have a very poor eating cycle, which is bad, but just being honest. Especially in the morning. So it's always kind of been my breakfast, lunch kind of replacement.
Right.
To some extent. But I dance and I have a pretty bad knee injury. They call it a knee disease because it's consistent. If I do the surgery, it can't change. Which results in a lot of inflammation and pain, nerve pain, all of that kind of stuff. So
Right.
I do a mix now, which is more on the green side with celery, cucumber, pineapples, apples, spinach. I don't really like the spinach. I prefer the kale in juices, but not my favorite, but I prefer it than the spinach
Yes.
for sure.
Right.
And ginger. I just wanted to know if there are any additional fruits or vegetables that you would recommend that I try. I do beetroot. I don't love it, but I have it. I have it like in food, like in my salads, like raw. Well, not raw, but cooked up. I like it like that with purple cabbage and stuff and carrots. Yeah,
Nice.
I prefer it that way actually than drinking it personally. But I just want to know if there's any other mixture or combination I should consider to help with inflammation.
Okay, that's a fantastic question. With dancing, where you're putting repeated pressure on this particular joint on your knee, and depending on what your injury is like, as you said, the only thing that's gonna really help it is gonna be surgery. So with that in mind, we're gonna be looking at two areas. You're gonna be looking at pain management, and you're also gonna be looking at elimination. So I see someone saying turmeric and ginger. We're getting right up there, girl. You're quite correct. So turmeric is one of the ingredients that I would definitely say you should be incorporating in your diet weekly. Like absolutely, whether it is that you're going to have it as a warm application in the form of a tea, or it is that you're going to be blending it or juicing it, or we supply it if you ever don't feel like the cleanup. We look at including turmeric with black pepper. In case you weren't on the live before, you have to add some black pepper to your turmeric. You have to ensure that your vitamin C levels are your body's vitamin C levels are at a place where you can actually absorb and process. And then you also want to be then looking at turmeric as something you're going to have with some kind of healthy fat. So meaning like coconut milk or nut milk that's fatty, so that way your body can absorb it. You definitely turmeric would be your best friend. Another thing you want to look at is, because of a knee injury, are you also experiencing inflammation or like affecting your nerves? So ingredients that you may have outside that you'd want to examine would be like your soursop leaf tea, like things like soursop leaf that you'd be having as a tea, your guava leaf, your fever grass, starting to incorporate even aloe vera into your diet. What you're trying to do is reduce the load on your body of toxins, reduce the weight on your body. You want to be reducing pain, so pain management. And then you look at what you are eating, because what you described there, I think, is excellent. Being able to have your red cabbage, your beets, and so on, excellent. You want to look at the processed food, because we live in a world where we have a lot of I think we're running out. We have a lot of foods that cause.
It's fine.
Yeah. We have a lot of foods that actually are processed and they affect our body. They add to inflammation, they promote it. So you want to be looking at things that, overeating of dairy. For me, I had to cut eggs out as a part of my elimination to help myself heal. That was not something I was aware of before. Also, different kind of fats that the food's prepared in, that's something that also causes inflammation or promotes it. So you want to be eliminating that from your diet. You also want to look at any other stressors, because they're things that prevent us from sleeping well. Habits in terms of how we ice our knee. I recently learned a technique for icing where it's like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So it's pain management along with what you're eating. I'm also not sure in terms of, as you said, when it comes on to breakfast and lunch, that series of meals that super problematic for people, because you end up not eating on time, and that affects how your body is able to process food and how you're able to perform, especially before and after dancing. So having a routine like with a warm-up similar to that for breakfast and for lunch, where your eating is timed, what you're putting into your body to process is going to be beneficial, especially first thing in the morning. That's also something that would be beneficial, I think, for you. I bring to the fore different herbal tinctures that may be useful that you can, or teas that you can prepare at home also. You could look at, if I were in your position with dancing, I would be doing the turmeric, I would be doing the ginger, I would be doing the lime, I would be doing the herbs, the leaves from the soursop, chamomile. I'd be incorporating ashwagandha in my diet, and I'd be shoring up my body with vitamin C. I definitely would want to ensure that my vitamin C levels are high, and that can be from things like tamarind, that can be from, I mean, supplements, of course, but also from like the sweet pepper, the green sweet pepper, the red, the purple, to ensure that my body is able to process what it needs to. That would be definitely some of my go-tos for inflammation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good. I feel like you covered quite a bit of what I'm already doing, so it sounds good to hear that I'm on the right path. I prefer
Mhm.
turmeric in teas, to be honest, and in like my curries and stuff. So that's good. And I think I just need to find the right blends, as you said before, in terms of for breakfast and lunch that works best with my body. But I'm on the right path. Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank
And one other thing to note with turmeric is the quantity, because sometimes
you.
the teas and so that we're having is very small quantities, so it's more palatable, while maybe what we need to be doing is having about 4 ounces of raw turmeric. So it will depend. So you can up, and if you have a medical practitioner and they're working with you
Mhm.
with supplements, then it could be beneficial to work with them while you
So
incorporate.
using the raw root, because I would just like boil that and then with the ginger.
Okay. Okay. We do it personally raw. We've had the best reviews based on the raw turmeric
The
as
raw.
juice.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's organic wherever possible. I mean, Ujima's Farmers Market every Saturday at Hope Gardens, they have raw organic produce. So you're able to incorporate the skin. You don't have to be,
Yeah.
scraping and peeling. So you'd be able to juice that and enjoy the full benefit of the root.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think
Hi,
Nicole,
good night.
yeah,
Hearing me?
yeah, we can hear you.
All right, good. Donnery here.
Hi,
So,
Donnery.
not going to cheat the process, but give me a quick um juices that I can use. So for me just want my belly flat. Like me not go around nothing with nobody. Yes, me want the healthy lifestyle and whatever.
Uh-huh.
But at 43, me want flatten my belly.
Mm-hmm.
We work with every other health stuff. But for me, I eat bad, and that's just
Mm-hmm.
me being very transparent. Eating bad
Mm-hmm.
also meaning not eating on time, also meaning because me not plan my meals, I'm up on the road,
Mm-hmm.
anything me get to eat, but just eat.
Mm.
And so it's been very bad.
Right.
But
Right.
and the other thing too is and I know it's because of my eating habit is that as it touched like 1:30, 2 o'clock, I'm tired, burn right out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Literally have to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I find though that since last week, when I do have like a good healthy morning, like fresh juice and the turmeric shots and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
no meat, no dairy, no complex carbs and stuff like that, I find that I could go through the day and be very productive. So I know what the answer is. So what I'm asking though, what are the best juices or smoothies I can make now to lessen my belly fat? I mean, I
So,
don't know. Tell me quickly.
oh, that's a very interesting question, and I get it at least once a day. How do I lose belly fat? Through juicing, or through any one of the programs that we do offer at therapy. The truth is, there is no juice that's gonna flatten your tummy. Truth, like no BS. What it is you're already on the path with what it is that you're doing, which is paying attention to your eating habits, meaning the time, the quantity, and how often you can maintain the healthy lifestyle habits. That is what's going to assist you with reducing consistency. So consistent habit stacking, consistently doing the right thing for your body at the right time, even when it's not easy. To assist that process, which is excellent, would be looking at, so we've made the process really easy, and this is just not even a plug. At therapy, what we have done is to create detox packages. We can get them to you in Florida, sure. What we have done is created detox packages. They do help you to experience a flatter tummy, but what they're designed for is for you to hit your nutritional targets because of the different ingredients. Remember, we want to be having a minimum of 30 per week, keep it organic, keep it vegan, or plant-based, whichever term you prefer. And it is that it's timed. So it's helping you to break the psychological block that many of us have when we're making a lifestyle change with these unhealthy habits that just feel normal, not eating on time, not actually nourishing our bodies with foods that we need, and eating processed foods, and also the doubt of what to eat, because that's, just one more decision for the day when we have 10 million things trying to consider. So we have, decision fatigue. That's where a detox package comes in. So that's what I would recommend for you. And definitely the announcement is that everyone who's going to be a part of Dan's program is going to be getting a 10% discount on our 1-day cleanse. So I'm really excited to have persons take advantage of this offer, have us prepare your organic products, deliver them to you, and then also work with you while you go through this process of detoxing. If it is that you're a superstar and you're ready to go for a 3-day, also let us know. And we're super excited to have you go on that process. So that is what we created the detox packages for: the breaking of the psychological and also the nourishing of the body. And the reason for the cold pressed juices and then the protein smoothies, which again, if you're already making these items, you're a superstar. What it is to have your body in the shortest amount of time absorb the maximum amount of nutrients while also having the elimination. So what it is, you want to be clearing your colon. What I personally did to help me, I can't ever say I've had a large tummy, but I can say I've experienced extreme bloat and discomfort, was I didn't understand how to clean my system after making a lifestyle change. So I started to understand the benefit of having laxative teas, not overdoing it, but why it was necessary. Like back in the day when them give you a washout, that's kind of a part of the process, because even a healthy diet consists of, unfortunately, parasites and toxins, because we don't live in a sterile environment, and that will upset our microbiome. We cannot process our foods properly, and it upsets our entire digestive system, and we become inflamed. So we have to eliminate the parasites. We have pets. We, may be around people who eat meat. We may eat meat ourselves. Things get cross-contaminated. We have to get them out of our body. We will never heal if we're filled with parasites and worms. That's one of the major steps that we have to have. We have to look at our stress management and sleep cycle, because this also upsets the microbiome. This also puts our body, or takes our body out of homeostasis, which is in balance, functioning properly with the systems, because we're not sleeping and we're not managing stress. This leads to inflammation, lack of proper digestion, bloating, bad habits, and belly. Sleep is the foundation of any good lifestyle, any positive lifestyle. Whether it is that you're going to be starting to look at, am I getting 5 hours? Am I getting 6 hours? Am I getting 7 hours per night? Why is my sleep being interrupted? Do I have healthy habits at home for hydration? Do I keep water by my bed? I know it sounds lengthy, but honestly, anyone who sells you a juice and tells you that's it, they're not being fair to you or themselves. So looking at how it is that you're consuming, what it means to be properly hydrated, what it means to mineralize your body, meaning the ingredients, because water alone, unfortunately, is just not enough, but it's an important part. Make it accessible. Look in your car, look in your cupboard, your pantry, look in your fridge at the foods that we know aren't good for us, and start eliminating them. Taking them out and not giving them to the kids, because we're not trying to feed the kids on unhealthy foods and build unhealthy habits for the future, not because they like it, means it was good for them. We're breaking the generational curses in our family of unhealthy habits that lead nowhere good. Hear Dan talk about the fact that her parents were plant-based, so it made her transition easier. That's the generational.
One parent. My mom eats every meat, pork, beef, Everything. One parent.
One parent. Okay, let's not misrepresent mom's work. That's not her. So yeah, so having a
I'm working
parent
on
that
her becoming plant-based though. So
I love it. I love it for her. I love it for her. But yeah, so having one parent that was in this particular lifestyle did make the transition easier. My mom vegetarian, it made it easier for me and I saw the benefits. So those are the kind of habits. Sorry to digress, but those are the habits. While we're doing this, we're passing on to kids, we're passing on to whatever younger generation we have around us. So clearing the pantry, making these steps, that's what's going to assist us in making the change, achieve the flat tummy. Then we look at what our lifestyle looks like. Do we spend time on the computer? Are we driving up and down all day? Are we in meetings? Are we moving? Are we sweating? Are we flowing? That's all a part of the flat tummy lifestyle, and it's a slow process. When you're gonna be, let me think, 43, where you're in a cycle, your hormones are changing at that point. Typically, as women, we look forward to different changes. So there may be hormonal balancing that's going to be necessary. So what your diet, what your physical energy output is gonna look like is gonna be different from somebody who may be 53 or 23. So that's something else that you want to test. So for me, I get my blood tested so I'm able to check my vitamin levels. That's something that's really important. Like, am I low in iron? What's my B12 like? I need to know where it is that I need to be shoring up my body because my lifestyle, quote unquote, is not typical. So that's another thing that's important. Test so you're informed, so you know. So you're hydrated, you have your planned movement that you enjoy, whether it's running, dancing, cycling, gymming. I love gymming, swimming, and then you're walking in the mornings or the evenings and building your lifestyle around that and then incorporating the juices. That's truly how you achieve your goals. But if you want, but if you need an emergency slimming down and you want assistance in breaking those chains in the mind, yes, we do have the detox packages and you will have your 10% off to start and you can let us know how you find it. I hope that answer has been useful. When I discover a flat tummy recipe, I will let you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a whole lot. Thank you.
I'm sorry that it was a lot, but yeah,
No,
we're
a
still
lot in a
looking
good
for
way.
the tummy control part, but I have not yet found it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dory. Donna Ray. Donna Ray. Pronouncing your name correctly, I hope.
Yes, you have.
yeah.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have questions?
How do we access a discount?
Well, you will be given a discount code because you
Okay.
signed up to such a great program.
Okay, so you'll put it's something that because I know you can order off the website. Is it something that you just put in the website and then okay?
That's right. You'll apply the discount and then that's it. We'll deliver.
Awesome. All right, thank you. That was my last question.
Welcome.
All right, so I think that's okay. No, Cheryl.
No, I had a quick question. In terms of for those of us who live like Florida, if I know somebody who is coming up, is it transportable like that?
Absolutely. No problem. So what you can do with your particular order is we will liaise with you because yes, they're transportable, especially to Florida. So we're Florida massive that enjoys their detoxes, so that's no problem.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone with a special ailment that they need to know what juices they can have to correct it? We can take one more question before we go. Oh, I want to add that we have Stasia on with us. Stasia is the raw boss. She is
Hey, Stasio.
She's high raw. For those of you who don't know her, 90% of her diet is uncooked, plant-based foods. Coconut water, lots of fruits. If you go on her Instagram, you'll see her dancing with her fruits, and I'm sure her body
and Jamaica swimsuit. Hot.
Are you me a follow, you know?
Not at all, girl. You are on fire. So I'm fascinated, and like a raw food diet is not easy right off the bat because we've not received the proper education around it. And so I'm excited for your session where you'll be debunking the myths associated with raw food, because when done properly, it looks great.
Yes.
Thank you, Danielle.
All right, so if there are no more questions, we're gonna close off tonight. Danielle, I want to thank you so much for joining us, sharing with us everything we need to know about juicing. I have learned a lot, and I know everyone here online has also learned something that can help them to properly prepare their juices, their smoothies, and something that they can share with a family member, a friend. So I am beyond grateful for all that you have taught me tonight. And we will be sharing this on my YouTube channel. So once it's uploaded, I will send the link to you so you can share it with anyone who you need to share it with. And everyone who has missed it from my community will be able to rewatch it. Again, thank you so much. And once you send me that discount code, everyone, I'll get it to you. If you are off the island, Danielle will find a way so you can have your detoxes, your detox juices.
That's right. And also, Dan, what we can also do is, if you have persons who have particular ailments, at that point, let us know so we can kind of customize. So one person may not want dandelion root, another person may absolutely need it for their inflammation. So depending on what the needs are.
I do have persons with a couple different ailments. So someone has ulcers, someone has a hormonal imbalance, someone has irritable bowel syndrome. So I mean, I doubt they'll identify themselves, but I know there are, so I'm able to tell you what the individual needs,
the ailments are, so we can customize
and so on.
Yes, because I had endometriosis, and that was one of the catalysts for me making this lifestyle change, because I could not go another month. And now I'm like up and down on my period, and my energy levels are here, my cramps are, where are they? And yeah, I'm enjoying it. So happy to be. I wish we could have gotten into that, but yeah, we can do that another time.
Oh, nice.
Definitely can.
I think you should let Danielle talk again.
yeah, we can definitely arrange a second chat.
Yeah, because that's
asking if they can order through FedEx in another state.
In another state, you can, but we have to check, because if we're in the States doing it, it's one thing, but because it has to be frozen, we'd have to have a central point. So what we can do is work it out for individuals, so that way we know exactly where it's going, and then we can track it. But through FedEx by itself from Jamaica, there's just one little hiccup. So
and some states have quite a bit of restrictions. I know California, for one, they have a lot of restrictions on that can come in.
So we just have to, make sure that it's according to the regulatory standards.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Danielle. Thanks everyone for joining. I really appreciate you all. Have a good night.
Have a great night, guys. Thanks, Dan. Bye, everyone.
Bye.